The Global Engagement Summit is a 5-day training conference at Northwestern University for young people who care deeply about global change. Delegates come together to understand the challenges and the opportunities for their engagement, to hone their skills and mindsets that will enable them to better plan, execute, and participate in change-focused projects. Delegates also come to connect with like-minded peers from around the world.
The mission of the Global Engagement Summit is to build the capacity of the next generation of global change leaders to cross borders and partner with new communities to produce responsible, sustainable solutions to shared global problems.
Northwestern University's staff of over 100 people plan the summit every year, and we bring in over 35 nonprofits from around the world to facilitate our workshops.
We've had students, delegates from over 40 countries and from over 50 American universities, and we've helped raise over $75,000 for change projects.
I think the GES has kept my focus outwards. Like at Northwestern, it's really easy to get focused on, your social life, your academics, my sorority. I don't know. But GES is constantly looking at other people at other universities, other people in other communities all over the world, to see how people can help people. And that's just a value that I really want to cultivate myself, and I think it's something that GES definitely helps me to do.
Okay, well, I'm not a very involved person on campus, but GES is the one thing that I will really take away from Northwestern. I can really say that because I think it really is a one-of-its-kind type of conference, and without it, I really feel like Northwestern didn't give me an opportunity to learn what I was really interested in, which is when you get together, no matter if it's students or youth, when you get together you learn just by sharing and just by talking with each other. So that's what I've been doing at GES, and that's why I keep doing it, and yeah, that's how it fits into the larger Northwestern picture.
The first few meetings I was pretty much hooked on GES because I just found that the cause was really incredible, and the methods by which they want to implement projects, I thought, particularly the asset-based community development approach, I thought were really effective and sustainable. So.
There's three things that tend to happen at GES. The first is that people realize that they're not crazy. People know that they're not crazy, but for a lot of folks, there isn't the same sort of rich, deep, dense community of people committed to changing the world that there are at Northwestern, or they're fewer and far between, or they're more dispersed, or more concentrated, and those people don't fit in. So the ability to see that there are just total ass kickers out there who are not comfortable letting things be the way they are is hugely important. A second piece is having a new language and a context through which to understand their experiences. I would argue that our generation is not at all naive about the difficulties of creating change, and that people who are building organizations or projects or whatever get when they're not as effective as they want to be. But the thing is, it's still hard to put a language around that, and I think that one of the most important functions that GES plays is by giving people a language like asset-based community development to understand and have a framework for empowering local communities, or to think about the terms, earned income strategies or social entrepreneurship or all this jargon. We kind of break it down, but we also give it to people so they can use it to make sense of what they're doing, which I think is hugely important. And third, I think that we play this really important role of, we don't teach people in the scope of a week everything that they need to know, but we help them figure out what it is that they actually need to know and what matters for their project, and then we hopefully give them the first steps towards that.
As an engineer, there's a very certain type of person that I deal with every day, and people in GES are very, very different, and so I think it brings a lot of diversity of thought as well as just different types of people into the mix that I think I wouldn't necessarily encounter every day.
Well, it's kind of funny. I mean, after the first summit, my freshman year, I distinctly remember the night of sitting next to some of the co-founders of the organization and some of the other co-chairs and saying, wow, this is a really great organization. I really want to become involved a lot more. And then one of them, Nathaniel, turns to me and goes, "Hey, Mega, why don't you come to Uganda with me this summer?" And things kind of picked up from there. And I've spent my last 2 summers in Uganda, and I've been introduced to a wide range of opportunities that I don't think I would have had if I hadn't joined this community.
That I've really gained from Northwestern and the people that I've met and who have shown me what they've done here and the things they've taken advantage of. And it's through GES that I chose my major, that I studied abroad and switched my major into what I'm doing now, and why, and how, to be honest, most of my friends come from GES, and so it's really changed my time.
I would say that it was arguably the best experience that I had as an undergrad. I was looking for something to really pour my passions into, and GS was definitely that. And not only did it allow me to pour my passions into it, it really helped cultivate passions that I didn't even recognize that I had before. And getting to work with the staff of 60 talented students last year was one of the best experiences of my life. Definitely was a highlight of my college experience.
Like initially a global perspective would be the first form of enrichment. I grew up here in the Midwest and really haven't been too far out of the country on any engaging activities, or planned trips or anything like that. So working in my sophomore year as the International Delegate Co-Chair really got me engaged in other parts of the world, really got me thinking about, where some of these students that were coming to visit Northwestern are coming from and some of the things that are really important to them that hadn't really been a priority in my life. And so I would say on a personal level, it was really enriched in the global perspective. On an academic level, it's really supplemented a lot of the things that I've taken as far as world history classes for my minor or international politics classes for my major.
Ooh, that's a good one. So every year we go to Ethiopian Diamond on Saturday night, and I started a dance party tradition my first year in GES. Myself and a delegate named Joseph got up from dinner and started dancing to this Ethiopian music, and soon everyone joined in, and for the past couple of years now it's been started. So all the fun at Ethiopian Diamond you can contribute to me.
So last year I was the community development co-chair, and we went to downtown Chicago with a group of international delegates and a few American delegates, and we just kind of did a Chicago immersion program. And one night we went bowling, and it was really fun because a lot of the people who we went with had never been bowling before. And it was just so much fun because there were some staff members there, and everyone was just really lighthearted and just having such a great time. And these kids had never been to America before, and so it was just, yeah, it was an awesome night.
I'd rather go to GES than be 21 and buy alcohol legally.
I would rather go to a GES meeting than do 90% of the stuff I do on campus the rest of the time.
The keg.
I would rather go to GES than take a plane trip with Natalie Portman to Darfur.
I mean, what is it not better than, I think, is a more important question.
GES is better than winning the lottery, or meeting Bono, or listening to Bobby Jindal talk on TV, or way better than Sarah Palin winning with John McCain.
Life?
GES is better than any other conference ever.
GES is better than you know it! Or better than you know.
All-encompassing. That's a hyphenated word.
Inspiring and motivating.
Drunk.
Just like a good mix. Like a good mix of people, ideas, places, everything.
Engaged.
Crazy.